morning, dear students. Take out your English literature books and turn to page number 85. So, in the previous class, we have read this story, A Rare Species of Uncle, Unit 9, written by Zay Whittaker. So, in the previous class, we have read that this text is a biography of Saleem Ali. So I told you what is a biography. A biography is a story of someone's life written by someone else. So this story is a biography of Saleem Ali, who is an ornithologist and also known as the Birdman of India. So Saleem Ali is an uncle of Zay Whittaker. Zay Whittaker is the writer of the story. Zay Whittaker, along with her parents, lived together in Bandra, Bombay, with their grandmother and grandfather. Her mother Laik wrote a book with Saleem Ali called The Common Indian Bird. Her father also became interested in nature and bird watching only because of Saleem Mamu. They always used to talk about the nature, atmosphere, environment, and birds whenever they sit together along with her brother and sister. She says that Saleem Mamu has a habit of waking up early in the morning at 5:30 a.m. and go to bird watching at Borivali Park, which is now a national park. Saleem Ali would drive his village jeep like a battle tank, honking and shouting at every person and the car on the road. Now let's read the next paragraph. His temper, which was never very sweet, was definitely at its worst on the road. As passengers, we learned to shut our eyes and hope for the best. At Borivali, we had favorite walking trails in the forest, following pretty streams and waterfalls. I was not a great bird watcher and still remain so. I keep buying birds, books, and binoculars, hoping that this will magically make me clever. But Saleem Mamu definitely had some secret bird finding talent. So, children, here Zay Whittaker, the writer, is saying that Saleem Mamu's temper is the way someone feels at a particular time. We can say that someone has good temper or a bad temper. So Zay Whittaker is saying that Saleem Mamu never has a very sweet temper. He is always in a bad temper, which was can be seen on the road. Whenever he drives his village jeep, he just go like honking and shouting at every person and every car on the road. As a passenger, Zay Whittaker and her brother and sister, they just shut their eyes and hope for the best. At Borivali Park, they had their favorite walking trails in the forest. Children, trail means the paths that are followed for a particular purpose. So they always go to the Borivali Park for bird watching and follow their path, following pretty streams and waterfall on their way. She is saying that she is not a great bird watcher, but still she go for bird watching with her mamu. She keep buying bird books, binoculars to gain some knowledge. But Saleem Mamu, he had some secret bird finding talent. He always finds some new species of birds whenever he go for bird watch and also give them knowledge about new species of birds. Children, new species means new kind or new type of bird. Now turn to the next page. Let's read the next paragraph. He could see what no one else saw, hear what no one else heard. He could walk more miles than others much younger than he. Even he was old, he would ride a camel or pony, walk for hours in the hot sun, and climb up a shaky ladder to peer into the bird's nest. As children, my sister and I often went to stay with our Nani and Nana. Our bedroom, the guest room, used to be directly above Salim Mamu's apartment. During our stays, we always hoped that Salim Mamu would be away in some jungle or mountain or desert. We loved to play hide and seek with our cousins, and Salim Mamu did not like noise when he was working. But what is the fun of hide and seek if you cannot yell and shriek? When he come up the steps to shout, "Keep quiet," we would all dive under the beds in fright. However, our nervous giggles would soon give us away. But we, on the other hand, had to put up the noise of his typewriter at 5 in the morning. Clack, clack, clack. There were no silent computers then, and he typed most of his books himself. When I see his book of Indian bird, I still grumble to myself. It really robbed us of our sleep. So, children, Salim Mamu, he has some secret talent. He could see that no one else could see. He could hear the sound that no one else can heard. He could walk more miles than much younger than he. Even he was old, he could ride a camel or pony and walk for long hours in the hot sun. He can also climb up a shaky ladder to peer into the bird's nest. So, these are some talents he has possessed as a bird watcher. For bird watching, he could do anything possible. So, whenever Zay Whittaker and her sister go to stay with their Nani and Nana, their bedroom or the guest room, it always used to be directly above Salim Mamu's apartment. Children, apartment means set of rooms where Salim Mamu lives. So, they always used to stay above Salim Mamu's room. So, whenever they go to stay there, they always hope that Salim Mamu would be away somewhere in the jungle or in the mountain or in the desert. Do you know why they hope that Salim Mamu would be away? Because Salim Mamu did not like the noises. So, whenever Zay Whittaker and her sister used to stay there, they make noise, and Salim Mamu do not like the noise whenever he was working. But they always have fun of playing hide and seek. And can you play hide and seek without yelling and shrieking? Children, yell and shriek means a loud, sharp noise, or you can say high pitched sound. So you cannot play hide and seek without making noise. So Salim Ali, he never want to get disturbed with such noise. So whenever he come up to shut them up, the children, they used to dive under the beds. Children, dive means jump in a certain direction. So they jump under the blankets in the bed so that Salim Mamu could not see them. But on the other hand, they had to put up with the noise of his typewriter at 5 in the morning. So Salim Ali used to write all his books himself in the typewriter. So at that time there were no silent computers, so he used to type on the typewriter and it makes a noise, clack 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 like sound, every day at 5 a.m. in the morning. So whenever Zev Whittaker sees his book, the book of Indian birds, she always grumble herself. Grumble means she always complain that it means the book really robbed their sleep. Robbed means this, because of writing of this book they could not sleep in the morning because of the clack 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 noise of the typewriter. Now let's move on to the next paragraph. Luckily for us noisy children, Salim Mamu loved young people. He certainly used to scold us, but the next minute he would catch our necks with his walking stick and make a funny face. There was always laughter when he was around, and his was the loudest and most croaky. Once my cousin and I decided to bake a cake for him on his birthday. It came out looking like a small rocky hill. However, we carried it proudly to the table, and the 62 years old birthday boy was asked to cut it. After a short struggle, the cake fell on the floor with a thud. Salim Mamu sprang back and peered at the cake. Strange, he said. It didn't break. Lucky it didn't fall on my foot. Whenever he was, Salim Mamu always had a small army of followers, many of them children interested in wildlife. Because of him, many people in our family also become interested in natural history and conservation. I have many memories of Salim Mamu, binoculars round his neck, surrounded by little bird watchers, mouths open, staring into space. But most of all, I remembered the joy on his face when he was looking at a bird. It did not have to be a rare or colorful one. Even a bee eater or drongo brought a special light to his wrinkled, sunburned face. Bird watching was his life. So, these children were very noisy. They always make noise. But luckily, Salim Mamu loved young people. They loved children. He certainly used to scold them, but in the next time, he also catch their necks with his walking stick and make funny face to make them laugh. So there was always laughter and joy around whenever Salim Ali was around, and his was the loudest. He laughed the loudest, and his voice is most croaky. Children, croaky is a deep and rough sound like a frog. You heard how frog laughs or makes sound. So Salim Ali laughed just like a frog. Once Zev Whittaker and her cousins decided to bake a cake for Salim Mamu on his birthday. But something went wrong in the preparation of the cake, and the cake came out to be very hard like a rock. When they carried the cake on the table in front of 62 years old birthday boy, and was asked to cut it, but after a short struggle the cake fell on the floor with a thud sound, and Salim Mamu sprang back and peered at means looked at the cake very carefully and closely, and he said, strange, it didn't break. Children, do you know why he said it didn't break? Cake never break. He said this because the cake was so hard. So that's why sarcastically he said it didn't break. Luckily, it didn't fall on my foot. So whenever he was, Salim Mamu always had a small army of followers, means he always had a small group of children with him who always followed and who are interested in wildlife, always follows him whenever he goes for bird watching. Children, because of Salim Mamu, many people in the family also become interested in natural history. Children, natural history means the study of plants, animals, rocks, or birds. Okay, so many people in the family become interested in natural history and conservation. Conservation means protection of natural environment. So Zay Whitaker have many memories with Salim Mamu, who always carry a binocular round his neck, surrounded by little bird watchers, his mouth always open, staring into space. He stares at the space, means on in the sky, and always search for new species, new kind of bird. But most of all, she remembers the joy in his face whenever he looks at a bird. It did not have to be rare or colorful one, but a simple bee eater or drango. Children, bee eater is a small bird. They are usually green or chestnut colored with long beaks that eats insects. Or drango is a small black or gray bird with a forked tail. So, this simple species of birds or insects make him joyous or happy. It brings a special light on his wrinkled, sunburned face. So, bird watching was his life. He enjoys watching every kind of birds around him. That's why he is referred as the Birdman of India.